All right, let's dive into a topic that, let's be honest, touches every single part of our lives: personal finance. But instead of thinking of it as a chore, let's start seeing it for what it really is: your own personal guide to financial freedom. Let's get into it.
Does that question hit a little close to home? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It's that stress, right? The one that kind of creeps in when you're thinking about bills or saving up or what the future looks like. But what if you could just flip that script? What if you were the one calling the shots?
Well, that is exactly what personal finance is all about. It's not some complicated, secret language that's only for experts. Nope. It's your personal roadmap. It's the tool that helps you get from where you are right now to where you really, truly want to be. So let's get a little more specific. What is this roadmap actually made of? What is personal finance at its very core? Okay, so the official definition is the management of your financial activities. I know that sounds pretty formal, but it really just boils down to making a plan for your money. And it's not about being restrictive. It's about having direction, deciding how you're going to use your budget, your savings, and your investments to build the future that you actually want. And that brings us to maybe the most important question of all. Why even bother? Why does this journey matter so much? What's the real power behind having a plan? You know what's so cool about this? It's like a domino effect. It all starts with just getting a handle on your budget. Once you do that, you can start to build up some savings. And those savings, they become the tool you use to tackle debt and handle those unexpected emergencies. See how each step just paves the way for the next one? And it all leads to those big destinations: a comfortable retirement and the ultimate goal, financial independence. It's a clear path to less stress and a better life. This quote really just nails it. Financial independence isn't about being mega rich. It's about freedom. It's the freedom to make choices about your own life without money being the main thing holding you back. Just think about that for a second. That is an incredibly powerful idea. Now, any good map has a key, right? A little legend in the corner that tells you what all the symbols mean. So to really read our financial roadmap, we've got to learn some of the basic language. First up, income. Super simple. This is all the money coming in. You can think of it as the fuel for your journey. It's what powers every single decision you make and every goal you want to reach. And of course, on the flip side of that coin, you've got expenses. This is all the money going out to cover your needs and your wants. These are all the costs you run into along your route, everything from your daily coffee to your monthly rent. Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. We're talking assets versus liabilities, and it's pretty straightforward. Assets are things you own that have value, like cash, investments, maybe a house. Liabilities are what you owe, things like student loans, a mortgage, or credit card debt. The whole game is to tip this scale so your assets are way bigger than your liabilities. And this is where those two ideas, assets and liabilities, come together to give you maybe the most important number in your entire financial life: your net worth. You just subtract what you owe from what you own. This one number gives you the best snapshot of your financial health. Think of it as the big, blinking "You Are Here" pin on your personal map. So you know how to find your current spot on the map. Now it's time for the really exciting part: deciding where you actually want to go. It's time to choose your destinations. See, a goal is what turns a random walk into a real, purposeful journey. It gives you direction, it gives you motivation. Without a destination, you're just kind of wandering around, right? But with a clear goal in mind, every single financial choice you make suddenly has a purpose. So, how do you actually set a goal that means something? Well, it's a pretty simple 5-step process. First, just define what you want. Then get really specific and make it measurable. So instead of save for retirement, it becomes save 50 lakh rupees by the time I'm 65. Much better. Next, give it a deadline. A goal without a timeline is just a daydream. Then, and this is the magic step, break that huge goal down into smaller, bite-sized pieces. And finally, check in on your progress regularly. This whole process turns a giant mountain into a series of small, totally climbable hills. We've covered the what, the why, and the how of your financial map. But you know what? None of it means a thing without this last, most important piece of the puzzle: actually taking that first step forward. You've heard this a million times, I'm sure, but it is so true. It can feel really overwhelming to think about the entire journey all at once, but you don't have to. All you need to do is focus on taking that one single first step. Whether that's just writing down a goal, opening a savings account, or making a budget for next week, just getting started is what really matters. So, I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Looking at your own life, your own dreams, what's the very first destination you're going to set on your financial map?